Okay, let's get started. Well, my name is Andrew. I'm responsible for training here at Hostaway. We try to bring different approaches because you all already know marketing, but there's always something new to be learned, right? And talking about something new to be learned, that's why I invited Krista here, because she's a property manager that has a lot to teach, right? So every time we get together, it is always an opportunity to learn more. Like when we are at VRMAs, she's giving a speech about something. I always learned something new from her, right? So Krista is not only just a property manager, she's an expert in many different fields, right? She's an expert on investment, real estate, branding. And today, she is here to talk about branding. I asked her to share a little bit of her knowledge, and she has some books published here, that I recommend that you read if you are looking into the investment side of things, especially real estate. And she's here to share her knowledge about branding. And you see that this is more it's more broad, than just marketing, right? She connects many different aspects of her business, with the branding. So it's not just about, okay, let's talk about marketing and let's brand the listing, right? You'll see a different approach. And I hope you can learn a lot from her, just the way that I did. Thank you, Krista, for being here with us. I
Yeah,
appreciate you taking the time, to share with the part of the team, because you're also part of the team, right? So you're a property
yeah,
manager. You've been with us for years, right? And we've been exchanging a lot, and appreciate you taking the time to share with our audience here, on the webinars, a little bit of your experience, right?
yeah.
So
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
thank you. Thank you. So I would like you to start your introduction. That was my introduction, my perception of you. I would like you to tell me a little bit more about how did you get started, with vacation rentals, right? And how you incorporated your life into vacation rental and a vacation rental into your life. How did this happen?
Yeah, so probably like many property managers, I started off by having my own units. I bought my first vacation rental in 2014, so almost 12 years ago, and we put it out on Airbnb to start and wanted to see, what would happen. And it did exceptionally well. The first year we were rented, we did huge numbers, and so we quickly started buying other properties because you don't have to tell me twice when something's making money to jump on that again. And so from there, I personally grew and then would begin to be asked by other people, well, do you manage? Do you manage? And I didn't at the time. And then eventually a long-term property management company came to me and asked if I would be willing to start the short-term vacation rental division of their company. And their name at the time was it was a combination of one of the owner's children's names, which was fine, but it didn't sound anything like vacationing at the beach in Daytona, which is where we're located. And so I said, well, I'll come on board, but we need to change the name to Salty Dog. Or that was my suggestion, and they agreed. The reason I chose Salty Dog is a salty dog, if you don't know, is not only a cocktail, but it's also a reference to an old sailor. So it's just a fun name, and we have a lot of Salty Dog surf shops on the East Coast. And so just we thought it'd be a fun name for a vacation rental company. So they agreed. We partnered up for a variety of reasons. It didn't work out. They weren't really into reporting income to the IRS, and I was. So we split ways, and I took Salty Dog on its own and was able to keep the name. And then we started our own long-term division from there as well. So we do manage short-term and long-term rentals. The bulk of our property management is short-term rentals, though. And immediately within a couple months of being in business, I had 20 properties. And back then, I did not know property management software existed. And so fortunately, sometimes, God works in mysterious ways. And so I got online and whoever I don't remember who I talked to at HostAway, but I interviewed like four different property management software companies once I learned about them and chose HostAway. And it was beautiful because we'd been having to log on to VRBO, and TripAdvisor back then used to do vacation rentals, and Airbnb, and we didn't have our own website. And so you have to get all the different platforms to get different messages and to sync your calendars. And so got together with Hostaway, and the centralized messaging, I will say that forever. They were the first ones to have that. And by having the centralized messaging, that's what had us made us sign up with them. And I'm so grateful because we've developed a really amazing partnership along the way. And we've grown together. They've shared things with me of things they're offering that can help our business. Just this morning, I'll tell you, I logged on this morning and I got the pop-up of the Airbnb increase in fees with exact instructions of how to go in and fix our product so that it makes it easy for our team to update the upcharge. So I've really appreciated that because it's been on our list of to do. But like everyone else, we get busy, and I'm worried that if we hadn't seen that this morning, we could have missed the opportunity to save a little money by doing it earlier. So I appreciate all the things that Hostaway has done along the years to improve their product, to grow with their property managers, and they really do care about us. And if you ever go to their conferences or see them at other conferences, you'll see they do truly care about their customers. And so I've enjoyed working with them. But back to our growth. So we grew, and then I brought on my best friend, she's actually now our CEO. I'm our chief pack leader, because we're a pack of dogs. And so she's our CEO, and we run the company together. And we've grown to over 100 units. And we stopped growing for a while because we needed more staffing, and we needed to fix some of our operational inefficiencies before continued growth. But we just relaunched growth in August of this year and have added 10 properties since we relaunched. We know in our market that when we try to grow, we're going to grow. And so we have to be very strategic about when we do it so we don't overwhelm ourselves. Although I'd love all the money because I certainly am motivated by money, I also want to provide our clients, our owners, and our guests a great service. So we do a lot of playing with marketing, and I know we're going to talk about that. So if you want me to just go straight into that, Andrew, I can, and talk about how we brand and what we do with that if you want.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I would like because I know your growth strategy, and I really take that into consideration. When I'm talking to other property managers, that you organize your growth, right? So you grow, and then you decide which listings, which property owners are working well for you. You reorganize, the house, and then you grow
Hmm.
again, right? So
Yeah.
that's amazing. It is a very, very strategic way, of handling, rather than just grow at any pace. And then, okay, now we have to clean up, everything that we've done, and try to reorganize everything. So you're always organized, step, go to the next step, go to the next step, but always solid. But yes, please
All
tell me
right.
more about the
Yeah, we'll
marketing.
talk about the marketing and branding. So we did just drop at the beginning of this year before we decided to continue growing. So we dropped 20 properties intentionally. We actually reached out to the owners and just said it wasn't working for our model for a variety of reasons. They weren't updating their units, they weren't to our standards. We said it in a very nice way, but 5 years ago, we brought them in because 5 years ago, our product looked different. We weren't as good as we are now. So as we get better, we expect our owners to either grow or die. That's kind of the way it works in business, right? So, anywho, so how we market and what we do that's fun and different, we're not only strategic about when we grow, we're strategic about who we're willing to grow with. So when we interview an owner, they're interviewing us, but we interview them as well. And in our contract and in our first meeting, we explain to them that we have a no asshole rule. And that means we're not going to be an asshole to them, and this is exactly what we say to them, but they also can't be one to us. Property management can be a very difficult business. You have new personalities checking in every single day. You have owners that live all around the world that can be difficult to get in touch with, that sometimes forget to tell you they're coming into town or whatever they do. All of that's going to happen, right? We know there's going to be issues. That's why they hire us. We're going to operate with a very kind heart and spirit, and we expect them to do the same. And if they can't do that, then they don't work with us because as a company, we have four core values. Our core values, we repeat them in our meetings. We require them when we interview new team members to work with us. And so our core values are drive, kindness, loyalty, and fun. And all are very, very important. You have to be driven to want our guests and our owners to have the best experience and be driven to grow the company in a reasonable way. You have to be loyal because, well, one, we're dogs. We are the salty dogs, so dogs have to be loyal, but we really value loyalty and not loyalty at any cost. We would never ask our team to do, and if we ever did, I would expect them to not say no because of the kindness factor. We would never ask anything that wouldn't be great for our team members to do to help our clients or guests. So that's where the loyalty comes into. We don't allow back talk in the office. There's not coffee talk. We try to lift each other up. And all of us have the goal of every person in our building, whether you're the brand new cleaner, the person folding laundry, or the top sales guy, that we are all lifting each other up. And even so much so that I'll tell you something we're doing recently in just a second, but then kindness. Kindness is huge. We value kindness. We treat our guests with kindness, sometimes even when they're not deserving of it. So, but we have to, that's what we're in hospitality. And if you walk into the Hilton and they treat you like garbage, you're not going to the Hilton anymore. So we have to always remember that we are in hospitality. Our guests are coming for their vacation, for an event, for a conference. They're excited. We're in a blue collar town. So some of our people, their 3-day weekend is the most they can afford, and they've been saving up for all year, or maybe it's really a stretch for them, and they might be in one of our smallest properties, but to them it's a big deal. So we really keep that at the forefront. And then fun. We're a very fun company. We do a lot of golfing Fridays. We have a lot of contests. We have a lot of games and silly things that we do around the office just to keep it upbeat. We want you to have fun when you're at work. We all have to work, so we might as well have fun doing it. And again, property manager, not that many people call a vacation rental management company to say they checked in and it was amazing, right? They only call typically if there's an issue. If they've locked themselves out, they can't find their code, the Wi-Fi is not working, the air conditioning went out, that's when they call. So if we are not having a fun environment in the office, that's going to be felt by our guest. So those are our core values. We repeat them on everything that we do. And we make sure that the people we work with and the people we hire all share those same core values. Our guests, we can't force them because whoever books, books. So that's fine. But we just deal with it the best of our ability. So, because we're salty dogs, we do wish that every property we had was dog friendly, but they are not. We do have a lot of condos in our area that are luxury condos that we certainly want to manage, but that don't allow dogs. And occasionally we'll have an owner that stands firm on it. But usually, if it's a house or a condo that does allow dogs, 99% of the time we convert that owner to being dog friendly just by showing them the financial numbers of the difference of a pet friendly unit versus not. It's not just the pet fee, it's the occupancy. Most people traveling with their pet take care of their pet, care about their pet, and therefore will usually take care of your unit. So we haven't, I told one owner of a beachfront mansion, he kept saying, no, no, no. And I told him right down the street, there's a guy doing the same thing and he's making twice what you make in a year. It was huge. It was like $100,000 difference. And I said, tell me what one dog can do on your property with their family that's going to cost you $100,000. And if you can tell me that, then I'll agree with you. And he couldn't. So now he allows dogs and it's fine. And he's obviously enjoying the much higher occupancy.
And I get sometimes, sorry to interrupt you, but
Yeah.
I get sometimes that people complain, yeah, but it's going to get the place dirty, right? Or things like that. Or I'm going to need more cleaners. It's good that you put a number on it because it's like, okay, we can hire more cleaners with this money, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's still, keep a revenue per available room, sky high occupancy, ADR, right? So you can increase your average daily rate. So there are so many things connected to that,
hmm
with pet alone, right? So sometimes, some small things make the difference. And
For us,
just
it's
one
the
thing before,
occupancy. Yeah.
if you don't go back, I can testify for your crew, right? Your crew is a lot of fun, right? So
Yeah.
it's a
Oh,
fun
yeah.
to work. It's a fun to work, right? Because many times, we got into calls and discussing, some work-related things, but also very good, to go to a conference and to have a beer, to go out, have dinner. So yes, it
Oh,
is
yeah.
true, right? So
Don't worry.
you bring those values.
I didn't go to the last conference they went to that you guys were at, and I did see the pictures. And luckily, I'm not going to show those on this podcast or not podcast, whatever we're on. But yeah, no, but we'll see. We'll be out in Burma, so you'll see us. You'll definitely see that we're there, and
Yeah,
we'll
by
be.
the way, everybody's invited here, right? So if you are at Verma, Krista will be there, I will be there, the host away team will all be there.
And
So
Hostella,
you're
we'll be at
welcome
Hostella too.
to join us, right?
Yeah,
For to have
we
some fun together.
we
I'm
have a lot of
sorry
fun.
to interrupt you.
You're fine. You're fine. But you will see our branding loud and proud at Verma as well. Wait till you see what we have planned. So, all right. So let's talk about some of our branding that we do. So I did just talk about pets. And so we do try to have pets, and mostly we do. And so what we do is when someone says they're bringing their pet, we make it very special. We have VAs that are located in other countries and so are very cost effective. And they reach out to the guests and ask the guest what their dog's name is, or if they more than one dog, what their dog's names are. And so when we get their dogs' names, when the guests arrive to the property, there's a dog bowl, there's a dog pooper scooper, and then there's a bag. And it's really cute. So it's a bag. I don't have a salty ribbon on this one because I didn't run by the office. I was running out of time, but it's got our logo on this bag. And then it's got a card. I don't know if you guys can see it, but the card has, it says, thanks for choosing Salty Dog Vacations. And then it has our slogan, which our slogan is sit, stay, play, vacay. If you drive by our building, it says that. I'm going to show you my email signature in a minute. It says that sit, stay, play, vacay. And then once they're with us, they get a repeat on there because we want them to come back. Then when you open our card, I'm going to read to you what the card says, but so that you can get a visual of it. It basically says, hi, Snoopy, or whatever their dog's name is. It's addressed to the dog. It's not addressed to the humans. And it says, we're so excited that you brought your humans and your family here to the vacation to hang out with you for a positively wonderful stay. And all the words tie into dog words, right? So it talks about how we think they're a really good looking pup. And so if they want to strut their stuff, to head on down to the beach and take pictures, because every month one lucky dog will get chosen as the calendar dog for next year's Salty Dog calendar. And who doesn't want their dog to be on a calendar? So that's how we get them to do social media, Instagram and stuff with us. It is signed with paw prints at the bottom. It's signed by one of our office dogs. Depends on whose card is sent out. So right now, Lupo is the current dog. So our cards are signed by Lupo right now. And then over here is a picture of Corey, who hung out with Andrew and Savannah. And it's Corey holding Lupo on the beach. And it says, it's got an arrow and it says, here's a picture of me and my owner, Corey. Thanks for staying with us. So they get that. Then what's in the bag is equally as fun. So we open the bag and inside they have dog treats, but they also have, and they're labeled human treats. We actually usually have stickers, but they're human treats, and they're human treats that are dog bones and dog paws. So they get human treats and dog treats. And so that's how we make it a little bit special. No one else is giving human dog treats, right? They look like dog treats. So that's one thing we do. We also work with influencers that are dog style influencers. So we just had two Dachshunds that were out, Charlie and Chance, or I forget the dog's name, but they were just out with their influencer, and she had a ball. And let me tell you, we reached out to we use micro influencers because um, that's what we can afford, number one. But two, micro influencers in our area are more likely to draw other people that come from the areas that feed into Daytona. If we got a huge influencer out of Europe, that would be cool, but it's not really feeding into our area. So we try to find people that could get us business in our area. And
Sorry to interrupt you, Krista, but
yeah,
I have a question that I believe it fits exactly, to the point that you're making here, right? It came from Amanda. Thanks, Amanda, for the question. That is good point of the type of clients in the area, right? What would you advise if you have an owner who expects all guests to have the same type of spending the way they personally do? Right. So I
yeah,
believe it goes to the point that you're making, right? So what kind of clientele, how do you okay. Actually,
yeah,
I believe that we have two questions here,
yeah.
right?
No, I'll answer.
How
Yeah.
do you establish the target and how do you communicate that and convince the property owner about that?
So if the property owner wants a 5-star client, then they better have a 5-star property. And we're very direct. I'm not afraid to say that to an owner. We have one of our owners, Rick. I tell him all the time that he needs to be our new owner trainer because he gets it. His property is one of our top performing properties. He's always updating it. It's always pristine. He doesn't let a quarter go by without freshening up paint kind of thing. I mean, he really takes care of his property. We do the minor maintenance, but he drives across the state. And by the way, Rick is one of the wealthiest human beings I know. He is extremely successful. He owns restaurants all along the west coast of Florida, and he and his wife drive over here on their weekends that the house isn't booked to work on stuff. They could afford to pay anyone, but they choose to work on it because they take pride in their work, and they just like to check in and see how things are going, and they like to be on the East Coast sometimes. So I use him as an example with owners that want that 5-star guest. I will show pictures of his house and show how much work he did so they can see what he saved by himself doing the work as well, right? Because if you're paying someone to do that, that's another expense too that they have to understand. And we'll do it for them, but then they get upset about not making as much money, right? So just have to you have to explain to them the money and how it works. If your house is not a 5-star house, then you're going to get 3-star guest. The Hilton is a great example. Four Seasons is another great example. Four Seasons can charge extraordinary high rates, as can Ritz-Carlton and Lowe's. And they can do that because their properties are pristine. Motel 6 cannot. Their properties are not pristine. That's a different client. Motel 6 was Krista in college. Lowe's Sapphire Resort in Orlando is Krista as an adult. And how I treated my properties was very different too. Probably Krista at 19, 20 might have been having a party in the room. Krista now just wants to go to bed at 8 o'clock, right? So you just explain that to the owners. And if they don't get it and they're going to cause you more grief than it's worth, then they just don't put them in your portfolio. The only time we would maybe allow an owner in that didn't really fit with us 100% is if it's like the greatest property there ever was on the planet. I don't want to lie to you all and tell you we wouldn't. If someone shows up with and we don't have anyone like this right now, but if someone showed up with a giant mega mansion and they weren't the greatest person to work with, we'd find a way around it. Unless it became so bad that it would hinder our business. And then we would make that decision because there's always more business out there. I do not live by a scarcity mindset. There's plenty of happy people that own vacation rentals and plenty of unhappy people. So you get to choose who you work with as long as you just explain that to them. And we also, a thing that we do is we tell them with our contract, they can fire us, but we can also fire them. And we're very clear about that as well. So if they missed, I had an owner we fired a year ago. He just came back, crawling, begging, crying, the whole 9 yards. He spoke very poorly to one of my cleaning crew, and he shouldn't have done it. I don't know what he was thinking, and she came into our office crying. I literally got in my Jeep, which by the way is completely wrapped with salty dog stuff, and drove to his house, pulled in the driveway, went and knocked on his door because he lives locally, knocked on his door, and I said, "Jim, you're fired." And he got all upset, but it took him a year. He went to Vacasa. Sorry, Vacasa. He did. And he went to Vacasa and came back a year later begging, promising me. And I said, I'll let you back. Because usually if they come back, they've learned, right? They know the difference. So I'm okay when they leave because I know if they leave, they always come back, right? So when he came back, I said, you're not going to get a third chance. If you ever speak to someone on my team disrespectfully, he's wonderful to me. He thinks we're equals. We're all equals. We're all human beings. And I thoroughly explained that to him. And if he ever doesn't do that, then he's out. So, okay. So that's my question, or that's the answers to that. If I didn't answer it, let me know, but I'll give you guys some more marketing stuff. So Kim and I, my business partner, we have lifted Jeep Wranglers. So Jeep Beach is one of the largest events in Daytona Beach. It has just surpassed Bike Week in our biggest revenue in the city and the county. So Kim and I both have Jeeps that are logoed up with Salty Dog. We certainly go participate in the Jeep Beach festivals. You really have to twist our arms to get on the obstacle course and do all the things where all the Jeepers see us. And then, if we have clients in town, we'll take them in the Jeeps with us. I don't think our insurance company would love that, but we do. We have a little golf cart that we drive around town that's logoed up, and we rent that out to our guests through a separate company. And then we also have motorcycles that are not logoed, but we make sure to post all kinds of pictures when we're getting to the time where we know people are booking motorcycle events with us. Then Kim and I, two chicks on motorcycles, it's just cool. I mean, people like it. It is what it is. So, we actually have a gang of motorcycle, and we get them all together and we do some posts and stuff with that. So we do marketing that way locally. We also are very involved in our community. And when I say very, it's like community involvement on steroids. We are on Fridays. So today is actually my Friday. So at Friday today at 3:30, we have two dog beaches in town. And so I'll leave at 3:30 today and go to the Daytona Dog Beach with my dog. And we walk and do dog cleanup on the beach for an hour, and we take pictures, so we get to do some social media posts. But the Daytona Dog Beach is a nonprofit that is in charge of maintaining our dog beach. And so we support the nonprofit not only in sponsorships, but also in sending our staff. Every staff member gets to rotate a Friday that they get to leave early and go do dog beach cleanup and hang out with their dog. They really like that. If you don't have a dog, which is only Kim, so if you meet Kim at any event, please heckle her because we all do about not having a dog. She can borrow a dog, the dog of the week that she wants to take with her when it's her week. So our team gets, regular pay to go do that. They don't take any time off. We also allow our team members, so we are blue collar area, and we also have some very disadvantaged areas. So we allow our team members to volunteer for an hour a week at a disadvantaged school as a mentor. They don't have to. They can if they want to, and they can leave work or come in work late or leave it for an hour in the middle of the day, whenever they want to do it, whenever the school lets them do it. They'll get a mentee, and they get to go and mentor a child in a disadvantaged area, because we think a better educated community rising tide lifts all boats. So we have our team do that. Kim and I actually both had our mentees this morning at 7:15 a.m., which was very, very early. But we brought them Chick-fil-A and had a nice little morning with them. So we do that. I did touch a few minutes ago. I said when I was talking about our staff that I'd tell you something else we're doing to lift our staff up. I learned this actually at the women's conference in Charleston. There's a group out in Colorado or somewhere doing this, and I sat through her seminar and I told her I was definitely stealing this idea. We implemented it immediately. We have a library now in our office. So not all of our team is college educated, or they're not, and we don't require that. They don't have to be. They just have to have our core values. And so we do want them to continue to be educated, though. So we have a library of self-help, hospitality, and finance books and business books. And they can check out the books. And for each book they read and complete, they give us a book report. And because our team is very loyal and we talk to them about ChatGPT, we do not believe any of them will cheat. And if they do, that's on their conscience, not ours. But they get paid $100 for giving us a book report at our Friday meeting for a book that they read. That was a self-help book, and they tell us if they recommend it or not. So it helps to keep them fresh and smart and learning things. And so that's something fun that we enjoy doing. And for those of our team members that are saving for a car or want some extra Christmas money, it gives them a way to earn extra money while laying in bed at home at night. So we just put that into place. We
And at
also,
the same time for the company, right? That's
Mhm, mhm, yeah.
they're growing together, right? So
Mhm.
it's just not a one way kind of thing, right? Just do your work. It is a way to it is an incentive for them to grow, right? So it is awesome and related
Yes.
to the work
Hmm.
and to the human being, right? So, and
That's
this is
right.
something that I also admire, that you can combine, many different things like helping the community, right? And even the good thing, right? Because people think about marketing just like, okay, we spend some money, we make some money, right?
Hmm.
You think in a different way, right? Out of the standard path, right? So
Yeah.
you help the community, and as a feedback, you become recognized,
Hmm.
in your
Well,
community.
yeah, now I'm extra recognized. So through all the years, I've always been very actively involved, but again, I said like on steroids. So I'm going to name a bunch of the things I'm on, but I'm on a group called Volusia Women Who Care. We do every month, 100 women get together. We give $100 each, and three charities present, and we vote on one. Two charities get $1,000 each. The other charity, the winning charity, gets the rest of the money. I do that because I like to do it. All my girlfriends go. We have wine, we network, and we support a nonprofit. It's pretty cool. On the Central Florida board of the American Red Cross. I got some notoriety around town because three of our houses fell into the ocean during the hurricane. And so we were on the news quite a bit.
Mm.
And so the Red Cross reached out and asked me if I'd join. And so I joined that. I'm in every chamber, the Daytona chamber, the Volusia chamber, I'm not in the young professionals anymore. I aged out, unfortunately. Sad. That's sad. Very sad. I'm in the Port Orange, South Daytona chamber. I'm in every women's group, the Boss Lady community, the Boss or sorry, Babes, Booze, and Business. It is exactly what it says. We're Daytona. We get away with a lot of fun stuff. The Volusia Women's Motorcycle Riders Group. So any group that comes along that is in line with either my personal likes or my business likes, I join, and our team does the same thing if they want to. And that gets you out there in the community. And it's, we don't have a lot of people booking our units from that live here. Sometimes they do, but we do have a lot of people that have friends and family visiting. And so we're always top of mind. And I learned that years ago when I worked in the stock market that you have to be the person that's top of mind. When someone says, I'm coming to visit, where should I stay? If they just saw me at an event, they'll say, oh, don't stay at a hotel. My friend Krista has this place. So that actually grew so much that I was asked to run for office a year and a half ago. And my team, when I was asked to run for school board, which in Florida, if you pay attention to the news, is a very hot, contested uh, board to be on. But so when I decided I'd run, I met with my entire team at Salty Dog because we had to run as a team. Me stepping out to run for political office was definitely going to take away from my time in the office. And so our team ran for office. And when I talk about loyalty, Florida in August, which is when our primaries are, and our primaries are held in libraries. And so you have to stand in a parking lot for 12 hours a day holding signs that say your name. My team stood in parking lots on weekends, at nights. They were putting signs up and down the roads. They were doing, I mean, I had my maintenance man would call me at 2 o'clock in the morning to let me know that he put signs all over. Like it was crazy. And that's loyalty. And then the women that I interact with through all the different groups I'm in, they stepped up as well. So that's all of that work not only ended up where now I won the election, so that's great, but now my name is more well known, which opened even more doors for me. So I just got brought onto the board of our local hospital, which is a lot of very wealthy people that do investing and own vacation rentals or long-term rentals or whatever. So it's just opening doors and networking, but you have to do things with the right intention. I'm an exceptional school board member. This morning I was at a pep rally at one of my high schools. I was mentoring at 7:30. You have to, if it doesn't work for you to do it with it exceptionally well and with the right intention, then don't do it. But those are networking things I've done. Now let's go to the fun part. So I think it shows in anyone that talks to me. I'm very driven. I have written two nonfiction books. One is out. You can get it on Amazon. The other one's not out yet. The real estate one comes out in about a month. I wrote a nonfiction under a different name because I am on school board and it's not appropriate. But I am super driven. I own a bar locally in town. So I'm a silent partner there. But so the drive part, you see that in me. You would see it in our team as well. The kindness, I've spoken about that. The loyalty, I've spoken about that. Let's talk about the fun. So not only do we love actual dogs and like welcoming dogs, but we also in our office, we don't make this a interview requirement, but it is a bonus points for you if you happen to really like Snoop Dogg. So he is a dog, and that's a D-O-double-G. And so when I refer to us as the Salty Dogs, we in the office we're D-O-double-Gs. So we actually have some fun with Snoop Dogg being a dog. If you know anything about Snoop Dogg, one of his best friends is Martha Stewart. And so we took that kind of combination of Martha Stewart meets Snoop Dogg to make some of our vacation rentals. So Andrew, I'm going to share my screen now and
Please.
show this. Let me, okay. So here's one of our properties. This is 99 Problems and the Beach Ain't One. So if you don't know 90s rap, that didn't make any sense to you. But we take our properties and we name them something fun. They're still pretty inside, they're still very nice, but we have a lot of fun with our emails and stuff that go out to clients before they come to see us. Andrew, tell me if my screen changes. Are you able to see when I change my screen? Okay.
Yeah.
So we do that, and then I wanted to go to Beach Gangsters. Okay, this is Beach Gangsters. Beach Gangsters Paradise. So play off the Coolio song, Gangsters Paradise. So I wanted you to see this description so you can see how far we take the marketing of that. It says, "Welcome to our crib. This is a huge beach paradise faux shizzle. The fully stocked kitchen, blah, 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 and fire pit make it fun faux rizzle. We think our house is the shiznit and are welcoming fun people looking to have a great vacation. Welcome to the beach, a walk to the beach, maybe while sipping some gin and juice or soak in the cowboy pool. Ocean view from several rooms located in a great hood. This dope spot is a wonderful place to unwind. Plenty of, just don't act wiggity whack. Plenty of parking for all your rides, blah, 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 blah." So in this particular house, oh, that's some of our marketing for 99 Problems. But in this particular house, oh, I didn't pull that up. I'm sorry. But we have signs all through this house that are beautiful signs, and they look like they're beautiful quotes from like Maya Angelou, but it's really quotes from like Tupac Shakur or Eminem. So you go into this house that's decorated super nice, super pretty, and then it's got like in the bathroom it says "flush it real good" or "drop it like it's hot." So it's fun, right? That's the fun part. We don't make it where you feel like you are staying in a bad place. It's a fun place. It's just we like 90s rap, and so we have fun with it. And we like that Snoop Dogg and a lot of rappers, Nate Dogg, there's a lot of rappers that you can use the word dog with. So we have a lot of fun with that. We also, is that playing?
Yeah. Yes, it
Okay.
is.
So this is a quick video that we just did. And do you guys get sound with it or no? Did the sound play?
Uh, I don't know.
Okay.
Play it again.
You would hear sound now. So this is another example of dogs welcome, humans optional. And so we make our videos really fun. And I'll let this play through the end because it's actually really cute. So we do try to incorporate that into so much of what we do, right? And so you can see in the dog's obviously loyal, kind, and super fun, right? We put the sunglasses on her, and it takes a while. I mean, she wasn't thrilled about the sunglasses. But yeah, so we try to just always portray that's what we if we show our guests how much fun we're having before they book, then they come in more excited. Now, I don't want to mislead you. We certainly drop the ball sometimes, just like every other property manager. Things happen. You know, we miss things. We try to not. We work really hard to not. We put everything in place so that we don't. And so it's very frustrating when we do. But all we can do is if we mess something up, we apologize, we take full responsibility, and we make it right. So, you know, whether that's an upgrade or come back next year for a night free or whatever it is, we come up with ways that and we talk to our owners if we're offering something on a property. If it's our fault, we eat it. If it's the owner's fault, if it's like their air conditioning went out, it's not their fault. But if it's not within our control, then the owner has to eat it, and they know that too. We also work with a girl that does blog posts with us. I would recommend it if you want to get direct bookings. Blog posts are a great way. I used to do our blog posts, and they were very much like, "We are a salty dog. Come stay at our vacation rentals," right? But they weren't that. I'm not a blogger, so I don't really know how to do that very well. So when the girl that does ours, she does different things. So that was where to spend Labor Day, the perfect bridal party getaway, and she does all these different links on here. So we have like a beach bonfire company locally, all of this stuff, the recommendations, it it creates hyperlinks is what she shares with me that drive more business to us. And then it also lets other local businesses know that we're promoting them. I do a lot of TikTok videos on my personal TikTok of me walking around Daytona and getting a coffee at a local coffee shop or playing putt-putt. Tonight, our team for Friday night, a lot of our spouses are out of town, so we're all just going to hang out together tonight And so we're all going to go to Pop Stroke in Daytona Beach. And we're going to take videos while we're there of us at Pop Stroke to let people know fun things to do, but also to let Pop Stroke know that we're supporting their business. So it just creates when people hear about Salty Dog, they just like us already because they've already heard good things about us locally. People in New York, they don't know good things about us yet, but when they come to town, if they go to the Cracked Egg Diner and say, and by the way, the Cracked Egg Diner is owned by a different real estate company than the one I'm licensed with, and they have their own property management company. They refer their big vacation rental houses to us, even though they manage vacation rentals. They refer their biggest ones to us because they know that we're going to take care of them. So that's pretty cool. So, yeah, you want to create that feeling in town that those realtors know if they send me a big house and that person goes to sell their house, I'm going to give that sale back to the realtor. I'm not going to steal it as a realtor myself, right? But again, always acting with that kindness and good intention. Everyone in Daytona Beach, I'm sure, would tell you if you do business with us or if you ask about my name personally, we would never burn them. We would never do them wrong. We might not be perfect, but we would never do them wrong. And that's important.
Krista,
And yeah.
okay, so yeah, I can see that you ended up on the backlink kind of marketing,
Hmm.
through the influencer or the social media person, that
Hmm.
is working with you, right? So
Hmm.
I have some questions here about social media.
Hmm.
Uh, you do on your own about your account, and the listing is a community driven thing, right? So again, right? So the places that people go, I could see like bride parties, this kind of thing. So you try to communicate with different audiences at the same time, right? So you
That's
have
right.
different targets, right? Different communication for specific audiences as well, right?
Yeah, like you'll see next week it'll start to get motorcycle heavy because Biketoberfest is in town, right? Or coming to town. So, which Verma is the same week as our Biketoberfest. It's making me crazy. So yeah, we do try to reach out to different audiences, whether we get a lot of cheerleader events here locally. So we try to do a lot of posts about different cheerleading things or things for families to do. We try to hit we've got such a wide variety. When you think of Daytona, I know that a lot of people think spring break and bike week. I get that. But we have 17 international events a year, from the International Quilters Convention to Jeep Beach to the National Dance and Cheerleading Association. So we've got to hit more than just bikers or, you know, rednecks going to the beach or spring breakers.
Yeah.
We get all those too, and we do market to them as
Yeah,
well.
sure, sure,
But
sure.
that's
Yeah, everybody is welcome, right? So of course you have to fine tune the communication according to your audience, right? Because they're looking for different things, but at the same time you have to speak and show. I got some questions here, like from Nico, yeah, asking how big is your team, Krista?
So we have 6 full-time in the office, and then our cleaning crew, our cleaners work just for us. We have 22 cleaners, and then we have 3 handymen. And then outside of the office, we have 3 virtual assistants, and we have 2 part-time, like evening and weekends, so that we want people when they call us to get a Salty Dog member first, and then we roll to the VAs. We also use Breezeway Assist for VAs as well, so I'm not counting them in this, but we wanted to roll the VAs as a last option. We want them to actually talk to someone here. And then we also have our social media person. I do my social media on my page, my personal page, but Salty Dog, we pay someone a monthly fee to do that. And then we pay Win a monthly fee to do our blogs. But those are marginal. I mean, we pay our social media girl like $200 a month. It's not, and she's a young lady that likes social media. She has another job, but she wants some extra money and it works out well for us. Win, who does our blogs, we pay like I think $100 a month. Or I mean, it's not a lot. Our VAs range anywhere from $3 to $8 an hour. Um, so and that's their rates. I don't set their rates, so don't judge me on that. They set their own rates. And I got the VAs that we use through Upwork. Um, So yeah, and
Talking about numbers, Krista, how about when you brand a listing, right? Like you do, like you take a listing and say, okay, let's put a storytelling on it, right? So let's bring a rapper, uh, kind of style and quotes and make fun with that, right? So how much do you think it impacts on sales, right? Have you ever been able to measure that?
oh yeah, I can measure that because I we
Yeah.
don't not all of our owners are going with the 90s rapper theme. Um,
Okay.
I don't get them all to bite on that. In fact, most of them don't bite on that. They're like, you've lost your mind. But I get to see the numbers of so this unit that you see, 99 Problems Beach ain't one. That's and to the woman that asked earlier about telling the owner what kind of clients we're bringing in. We know if someone books 99 problems and the beach ain't one, there's a chance that we have something in common, first of all. Maybe not. Maybe they just booked it because they saw it and they liked it. But there's also a chance that they've got a good sense of humor, right? If they book beach gangsters, they've read that description and we know that they're probably going to be pretty chill. And we put in there like so a lot of people say, "Well, don't you think if you put gangsters, they're going to smoke pot in the house?" No, I don't. We have two reasons why. Number one, we're in Florida, so most people just go outside. It is basically legal here. It's medically legal, but people treat it like it's legal here. So we put in our description, we don't care what you smoke. Just please do it outside because we want to like you. We want to keep liking you. You can smoke outside all you want. We're not going to ask you any questions about it. Just don't do it in the house because that's where there's going to be a problem. We've never, knock on wood, had an issue at Beach Gangsters with anyone smoking in the house. Now, our owners that have, they ask us to put no smoking signs all around the property. Those are the houses where we've had issues because I think people, I'm serious, because I think people are just like, I'm going to do what I want. So if you have fun with people, people are people, I try to look back to when I was 25 and booked a place with my friends and I, and we were fun. We're still fun. And we,
Breaking the rules.
maybe we didn't follow all the rules. Now we're just more fun and much more respectful. But I was 25 once and I wasn't a bad person. I was just young. And so, and there's some people just are rude and, they don't care. But if we sense that going into it, we would probably try to not rent to them. So yeah, so we see huge differences in the properties that are themed out. Um, if you look at like if we were to compare 99 Problems, it's a 3 bedroom, 2 bath. It's actually the condo above our office. So they share a parking lot with our entire office team. And so if you read our reviews on it, exceptional. And we don't bother them. We don't make them feel like you're on our property. Like we just don't do that. The numbers on 99 Problems, and it's not directly on the beach, it's across the street from the beach. If you look at the numbers on that compared to many of our 3-2 beachfront condos, and this doesn't have a pool, it doesn't have a hot tub, it doesn't have a fire pit. I mean, it doesn't, but the numbers on it are phenomenal. And I think, because of how we market it.
Excellent.
Mhm.
I can imagine. I can imagine because if you're looking to like 100 listings, they all look the same, similar names, similar photos. Is like it becomes a commodity, right? So then when you see something that stands out, okay,
Mhm.
maybe let's look into that, right? What they have.
Yeah.
And branding has this kind of thing, right? It connects to some people,
Yes.
right?
And you
So
and you
it
you always have to be looking forward too. So this last month I've spent a lot of time working with various like we've got to update our website. Our website we did 5 years ago. Um I think initially we actually just used the free one actually, and then we did a website as well. If you're small, use the free one. Don't overspend. So if you're a one operator and you've got 1 to 5 properties or whatever, do not do this yet. Don't overspend your money because you'll spend more than you make and then you'll be out of business. It's not a fun process to do that. But we've grown and so now we're in a different spot. And so we grew to where we could have our own website, but it's still pretty basic. Like our website doesn't have great functionalities that we'd like. It doesn't have much about our long-term division. So now we're in a process of I'm going to make the call today to who we're choosing of upgrading our website and rebranding our website, which is going to be a whole nother push, right? So we, Kim and I have never taken a loan to run this business. So we're debt free. Our vehicles are debt free. Our maintenance truck is debt free. Oh, here's something fun we're doing too. We're in the process of trying to buy an ambulance that we're going to logo up because it's going to be emergency maintenance that shows up in an ambulance because sometimes people are so dramatic that we want to be dramatic too. We actually, this is true too. In Florida, we call them palmetto bugs. The rest of the world probably calls them cockroaches, but they exist in the whole wide world, especially at the beach. Doesn't matter how much you clean, doesn't matter what you do. Palmetto bugs in Florida are we're in the jungle, and people forget that Florida is actually a jungle. So if there's a dead palmetto bug by the front door and we've just cleaned and we left an hour before you got there, and if they call, we will show up in a palmetto bug costume to get it. So it lightens a tough situation, right? No one wants a dead palmetto bug at their front door. If you live here, you know that's normal. You know the house is still clean, it's still sanitized, all the things. But if you don't live here, if you came from Sweden and you've never seen a bug, a palmetto bug, it's a cockroach that's like that big, right? It's not that big, but it's pretty big. So if we can at least have some fun with it, then it lightens a tough situation. So we're trying to get an ambulance though, and the ambulance we're gonna have a bullhorn on it and stuff, and then we get to use it. We're in all the Christmas parades, and by the way, we are not in the Christmas parades in the uppity areas of town, which is probably where we'd get business more from people. But we are in the Christmas parades in the disadvantaged areas of town because they have less participation, and so we did the nicer parades and the less nice parades, and then we made a choice as a company to do the parades where we thought we were benefiting the kids that needed it most during the holidays. So, um, we
Krista,
yeah.
I got a question here. We are almost running out of time, and it's a lot of fun. I believe we'll have to continue this conversation on Burma, and
Yeah.
everybody here is invited to join us. But I have a question here that I think is very interesting, for many people here. We're brand new spanking a brand is spanking new to this industry with no budget currently, right?
hmm
Where do
hmm
you recommend we start with our marketing?
Okay, so I had the same budget as you when I started. Um, what I would recommend is go to social media, go to if did they say what city they're in?
No,
Okay. If
no.
you're in a city with a convention and visitors bureau, I forgot to mention that. I sat on the advertising committee, and now one of my team members sits in my seat because it's the same day as school board on the convention and visitors bureau advertising committee, or most cities have a convention and visitors bureau, or areas do, and they will frequently have tons of free marketing because their job is to market the area. So if they can market the area and market your properties to bring more people in, they get paid by tax tourist revenue basically. So they want tourists. And so go to them and ask them to help you. A lot of them do like coffees and connection breakfasts that are $5 or whatever they are in your area. Go that route, go to social media, sign up for constant contact or a very low cost constant contact. I mean, I paid $29 a month. And we are switching from constant contact because we've gotten a little too big now, but I paid $29 a month and got up to like 3,000 contacts on there that I could send an email out to. And I marketed guerrilla marketing to anyone that I met. If you played tennis against me, if you by accident gave me your card at a networking event, you got on, and they can take themselves off if they want off. But you just send it out to everyone. Because I had no budget. I had $0 to spend to do this. And so um, I I push my personal Facebook has almost 7,000 followers, and please follow me. It's Krista Dowling Goodrich. You'll see on my personal Facebook, I push a lot of my business stuff out on my personal because I have more followers there than my business page does. So that's where people are going to see it more. I don't separate my business and personal on social media. It's all just social. It's all out there. It's free advertising. I get a ton of business from my personal social media page on many businesses. So those are ways that I would go about doing it to start. And then once you have a budget, you can look at other things. But volunteer. Do the volunteer route. Volunteer with every organization. Join Any group that if you can't pay to join, ask them if you can volunteer time. And people remember people that help them. People remember people that step up.
Amazing. Thank you. Well, before we close, there is one more here, like, oh, so good branding. Would you mind sharing the text that you sent to the dogs?
Oh, the email that we put on our cards?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have Andrew send it out. It's
All
really
right.
cute. Yeah, it's really cute.
All right.
So,
Share with
yeah.
me, and I'm going to share with everyone here, the communication that
Yeah.
goes out.
Oh, and let me say
And
just a couple more things before I forget.
sure.
And this is just for you guys to do, not I for years and I just restarted it, but did a podcast. That's a very inexpensive, free way to get information out there or low cost way. You'll get people from that. So if you have just talk about vacation rentals, you can, when I wrote my books, that was me, my time. No one paid me to do that, but it made me an expert in my area and in my field. So do things, write articles to go to HARO, Help a Reporter Online. It's called HARO. They're always looking for articles to put in newspapers or magazines, sorry, not newspapers, magazines and stuff, or online. Send them articles about what you do. It's free. You can submit. They choose you or they don't. But those are other ways. Sorry, I forgot that we're also free ways that I grew.
Amazing. Well, Krista, we are heading to the end. I really, really appreciate, you sharing all your knowledge here. I can already see, on your screen, some people are already connecting with you on Facebook.
Oh, hi, Pascal. I didn't know you guys could still see that. Hi. Sorry, Pascal. Hi. Yeah. So
Which
yeah,
is
so
great. Yeah, that's the spirit, right? So
it
the
is.
same way that you're networking here, with Krista,
Do
it
it.
is very good, to be in a community, that you can share ideas, you can share, especially if they're not competitors as well, right? So you can become a reference in your market, like Krista mentioned. You can help local business, so local business can refer you back, right? So it works online on digital, like on the example on the website, on the blog, right?
Mhm,
With links exchange, it works in the real life as well, right?
mhm.
So yeah, excellent.
Yeah, and
Thanks
it's
so
good to learn
much.
from each other. And yeah, join us all at Host Away. I'm sure we'll be having some cocktails together. So come find us and we'll become friends in real life too.
Yeah, right. Thank you very much
All right.
again, right?
All
Thank
right.
you all for coming, and see you next week.
All
Bye.
right. Bye,
Thanks.
everyone. Bye.